Well, good evening. If you've landed here, you've landed on Let's Talk News. I'm your host, Leticia Remauro, and we are one day after Socialists swept New York City. And we now have the likelihood of 3 more Socialist Democrats being elected to Congress to join AOC and Rashida Tlaib. It's just amazing. It's disturbing. And it is something that we've been talking about here on Let's Talk News since we were the right stuff. And I went back into the archives of the right stuff and I found a particularly interesting clip that I want to start us off with because it's just the perfect clip, in my opinion, to understand what's going on with the Democrat Socialists of America, to understand that this is not just a phase. This has happened in this country before, in 1912, to be precise. There's always been this movement towards socialism in America, which just baffles me, absolutely baffles me. But the head of steam that is taking place now on the eve of our 250th anniversary is just remarkable and scary. Hi, Kevin Wall from the other side of the universe, but the same side of the issues. Good to have you here. Hi, Francine. Good to have you. Karen, great to have you here. And Francine, so glad that you're here. And yes, so sad that that's happening to New York City. But I mean, it's not just happening to New York City. Let's just share the screen, and I will show you that we have a real concern going on here. This is there are over 250 Democrat Socialist members elected to office right now in 2025. 90% of them were elected after 2019. In 1912, let's see, there were socialists in Congress. So, think about that. But let's just see the list. Okay, so we have in Congress right now, we have Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, Rashida Tlaib, these are former members of the Democrat Socialist Party. We had Greg Casar from Texas from 23 to let's see, he's ends in 27. Summer Lee, Shri Thaneter, expelled former member until 2023, never endorsed. Let's see, Jamal Bowman, he got kicked out, you remember. Cori Bush, she got kicked out. Let's see, we've got Danny K. Davis. Jerry Nadler, it was a former member of the DSA and former endorsee. John Conyers is a member and formerly endorsed or former endorsee. Major Owens, David Bonyer, and Ron Dellums. And then we have in the state, here are all of the people in the state houses. Currently 14 serving in the state houses. This is in Illinois, Minnesota, New York, Vermont, Delaware, Pennsylvania, Nebraska, and Rhode Island. Former members in Colorado, California, Massachusetts, Oklahoma, Washington, Oregon, Vermont, and Georgia. Lower houses, so that would be the assembly, right? We've got California, Colorado, Connecticut, Delaware, Georgia, Hawaii, Louisiana, Maine, Maryland, Massachusetts, Michigan, Minnesota, Montana, New Mexico, lots from New York, Ohio, Oregon, Pennsylvania, Rhode Island, Tennessee, red state, Vermont, Washington, Wisconsin, and here are the former reps from these states. So other state level offices, let's see. Oh, okay. So Sally Lieber in California, Board of Equalization. That's an interesting position. And Davante Lewis in Louisiana, Public Service Commission. Then local officials. Here we go. Zoran Mamdani, New York City mayor. So we've got mayor, town supervisor, mayor. So mayor of Burlington, Vermont, Irvine, California, Richmond, California, and Montgomery County, Maryland is a county executive. Then you have formers, mayors, county executives. But look at how many. And then here's your city council members. Current. I mean, it's crazy. Massachusetts, Kansas, North Carolina, Georgia, Texas, California, Colorado, New York, all right, Illinois, lots from Illinois. Yeah, that's very interesting. I should have probably Indiana, red state, New Jersey, Iowa. I mean, it's absolutely crazy how many people who are members of the Democrat Socialists of America are serving in office today or have served in office. Many of them have gotten themselves in trouble and have been kicked out. But the fact that they're moving and getting to Congress, and what I'm concerned about specifically is how many members are judges. I didn't even look. Let me just see that for a minute again. Let me see if there was any judiciary. I don't think so. No, lots of formers. Hold on, stick with me. Municipal, county, board of trustees, rent commission board, school board. This is all on Wikipedia, by the way. So David Dinkins was and Ruth Messenger were both members of the DSA. No judges, right? No judges, thank goodness. But if they start interpreting the laws, we're in trouble because they don't like laws. So it doesn't seem like I was holding out before I showed the video that I wanted, but I guess it's just us guys. And so, I'll show the video to you guys. Hi, Tom McMurray. Good to have you. It's really, really scary that this group of people, they're very anti-Semitic, Muslim-based. They don't want America. And in previous shows, we actually showed them at their conferences basically saying that they don't want borders. They want all of the Americas to be one. And Mamdani told this to Trump. And I think that Trump kind of took him seriously and said, well, if you want the whole continent to be one country, then it should all be America. And I think that's why he went into Venezuela and is messing around in Cuba, because if you want it to be one, okay, you don't want borders, okay, well, we'll just take over those countries. I joke, of course, but not really. That's their goal. Their goal is that the whole continent be one entity and that everybody be treated equally, that the government control everything. And it's just, I just don't understand how they don't understand that socialism has been tried over and over again, and it's failed every single time. And it's never going to be any different, because you can't have true equality, because in a real democracy, like straightforward democracy, the majority rules. So the minority gets treated like shit. And if you're not going to do a democracy, one man, one vote, and you're not going to say that the minorities don't have a voice, then who's going to make the decision? Yeah, because that's what our constitutional republic does now. It's one man, one vote. However, because we have Congress and because we have negotiations, it's not just the majority rules. If the majority rules, we would have the Save America Act passed already. But that's a whole different story. Hi, Gary. Good to see you. All right. So, all right, listen, this is an analogy of the DSA being like the cuckoo bird. And the comments are from their own people. Watch.
No secret that the Democratic Socialists of America hate the Democratic Party.
I think we're all on the same page that we hate the Democratic Party.
The Democratic Party is not really our friend. It isn't.
So why are the DSA such major players in the Democratic Party? This odd relationship can be understood with the cuckoo analogy. In nature, the cuckoo survives by trickery. It lays its egg in another bird's nest. The unsuspecting parents raise the imposter as their own until the cuckoo grows strong enough to push the true chicks out. The DSA is the cuckoo inside the Democratic Party.
DSA is not the Democratic Party.
We must separate ourselves from the toxic Democratic Party.
We can put forward a clear, aggressive, principled strategy that pushes back against the Democratic leadership and the Democratic Party as a whole.
DSA candidates run as Democrats in safe blue districts. They slip through low turnout primaries. And once inside, they use the Democratic label as camouflage while advancing an extremist anti-American agenda far beyond the party's mainstream.
I don't agree with the Democratic Party, but it's a great tool.
The Democratic is a tool that we use.
Once in office, DSA candidates take orders from DSA's internal enforcers and working groups. City halls and state houses start running as socialist machines controlled by the organization, not the Democratic Party, and certainly not voters.
They have to have a connection with DSA's internal politics, and they have to be committed to the eventual goal of building a separate entity from the Democrats.
DSA are revolutionaries, and the Democrats are their first victims. And in city after city, DSA victories prove their plan works.
I think that the model that we used in New York is 100% replicatable.
And just like the cuckoo, once the DSA grows strong, it pushes the true Democrats out, hollowing the party from within,
building towards political independence and tearing apart the Democratic Party.
The DSA is not here to strengthen the Democratic Party. It is here to consume it.
We're not here to make the Democrats a little bit better. We're here to actually enact socialism. And socialism is not just better capitalism. It's overthrowing the entire capitalist state.
It's our duty, DSA, to cultivate this power.
The cuckoo is in the nest.
Cuckoos in the nest. Sure are. I mean, more than one cuckoo is in this nest. So, it's scary that the Democrats are actually kowtowing to the DSA. Why? So why are Democrats like Schumer and Jerry Nadler and people who were before were moderate Democrats? Why are they suddenly shifting to the left? Even Dan Goldman, he was progressive, and so was Hakeem Jeffries. And oh, by the way, when Hakeem Jeffries came on to the screen at the victory party last night, the membership all said that he was next because Hakeem endorsed all the incumbents, and so they want to get rid of him, and they will get rid of him, even though he's really left. But so why, you'd say to yourself, so why are they doing it? Well, because in a Democrat primary, the far left wins. And that's, what was kind of said in that cuckoo analogy is that, primaries are low turnout, and it's usually the left of the left that comes out. I will say in Staten Island, Jessica, what's her name? The state senator, she won her primary handily. So there's still some legs in Staten Island for conservatism or blue dog Democrats, but everywhere else, they're pushing out the moderates and even just the progressives, and they want this regime. They want this socialist regime. It's not really just a person. That person is dedicated to the Democrat Socialist Party. Bernie Sanders, AOC, Elizabeth Warren, Rashida Tlaib, they all are paying it forward to their machine, and they have to. Talk about a cult. That's a cult. And they walk in lockstep, they talk in lockstep, they hate together. They hate us so much that they're killing us. And they're getting a toehold here, more than a toehold, more than that. So what does the Republicans do, especially in the blue states? Now, I've heard so many people have so many theories. Oh, it should be so easy now to take them out. Well, not as easy as you think. We have some comments. Oh, thank you very much, Gloria. She says, I'm looking good. Get out of New York suits me great. Gary says, unfortunately, our fellow countrymen are too stupid to recognize this. Just what background does some of DSA members have? If I find out they are government assisted, I'm going to be pissed. Well, listen, it doesn't matter the background, because they're doing the smart thing, right? And this is what I said we should have done. The Republicans should have found the red areas in the blue states and challenged, or the purple areas in the blue states, and put up some really good candidates. But I think it was Colleen and some others who were telling us that in North Carolina, they weren't even running people in every district. And that's unfortunate. But here's what I do think that we can do. I think that how the Republicans have to handle this, and it doesn't sound like they're handling it the way I'm going to describe in a minute. It sounds to me like they're just going to rest on their laurels and think that moderate people are going to agree with them. And that's not going to be what's going to happen. And in places like New York City, Democrats will not. These new Democrats, these young Democrats, these Gen Xers will not pull the lever for a Republican. They just won't. So what to do? Run independents. And then hopefully they'll caucus with the Republicans. If the Republicans help them get elected, you don't have to swear your allegiance to Trump. You have to swear your allegiance to the people of America and the people of your district. And if Republicans, first off, pass the Save America Act, we wouldn't have any worries about stealing elections, number one. But number two, I and so many others would give more money to the Republicans to try to elect people that are not socialist. And there's no way that you can have a Republican label on you in New York City and win an election. You would have to be a moderate. You have to be an independent. So find some independents. So what? Go outside the party. So let's change the game a little bit. There are plenty of independents that are elected. There's two in the Senate and a couple in the Congress, in the House. Let them caucus with you. And sometimes they're not going to caucus with you. Maybe there'll be a swing vote, but sometimes they will caucus with you if what you're proposing makes sense. And I don't mind that one bit, quite frankly, because I don't like the power structure right now, because if the power structure was working, John Thune would have already passed the Save America Act, and we wouldn't have had the War Powers Act voted on in Congress. because Republicans went over to the Democrat side. Jeffrey's uncle circa 1990s. Okay. Professor likes to speak in code, and he doesn't understand that my brain cells are limited these days. Okay, so listen, here's a member, just a rank and file person in the DSA describing what they're going to do. Watch.
Yesterday, June 23rd, 2026, was an amazing day for the Democratic Socialists. Not only did all three of the candidates endorsed by Zoran Mandami win, and those would be Claire Valdez, Brad Lander, and Daria, I have a hard time pronouncing her name. It's Daria Lisa of Avel Xavier. They all won. All three of them. And of course, AOC retained her seat by like 85% of the vote, right? And also in Washington, D.C., the winner of the Democratic primary there was also a Democratic socialist named Janice Lewis George. And given that it's Washington, D.C., she's likely to win, you know. And there were also a whole bunch of smaller, like state assembly house seats and county commissioners, you know, local and statewide seats in New York. They're also won by Democratic socialists. And this is not just in New York City. There have been 31 Democratic socialists who have been elected this primary season, and there are only going to be more of them. This is a movement. This is the Democratic Tea Party going on, and the left will take over the party, and the neoliberals, the corporate Democrats, and the establishment need to get the heck out of the way and let it happen, because it's happening.
Okay, there you go. Get out of the way and let it happen. Well, I guess they could. They don't have a choice because they don't have the machine or the dedication. You have to be brainwashed to just blindly follow. And isn't it interesting that, and I've always said this, I mean, they're being terrorized. The sitting Democrats are being terrorized. Hochul, Schumer, they're all being terrorized by these Democrat socialists because they're terrorists. And there's not a thing that they could do about it. I mean, I suppose they could run as independents, create a line and run as an independent, and maybe some of them will keep their seat, which is even more reason why Republicans should run people on the independent line. Not a Republican and independent, just independence line. Fuck that Republican. And I've said this for the longest time, and the Republicans should support this, is in New York, in Chicago, in Los Angeles, in Seattle. We should adopt these nonpartisan elections, and you would wind up with more moderates being elected. But I digress. This is literally a brainwashing operation, and everybody has to do the same thing, and everybody has to speak the same language, and everybody gets their talking points. It's a very well-oiled machine, and and we've said it 1,000 times. Neville Roysingham is behind the whole thing, and it reminds me greatly of Demolition Man, the Sylvester Stallone movie with evil Dr. Cocteau, telling you what you could say, what you could do, blah 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 blah. So they've got this thing going. We can stop them, but not the traditional way that these old fucking farts want to do it. Oh, let's just let's talk about this and that and taxes, and no, you have to. These are mostly women in this party. They're old people and women. So you need to strap on and embrace that toxic masculinity, and get them the fuck out to vote. I think that showing that, but the clip I just showed you might not the first clip might actually be a good commercial for them. Let's see. Teresa says Staten Islanders are screwed. Well, I've been saying that for a while. I've been, once Kathy Hochul told everybody to leave and people did, there's really nothing that else that can be done. I mean, Staten Island will hold on maybe one more cycle, but I don't see how, because the Blue Dog Democrats will come over. But I don't know that they'll vote Republican. The McMahons of the world, the Jessicas of the world. I mean, they'll keep running. The DSA won't necessarily get them all out within the next cycle, but the Democrats will start picking up seats even in the South Shore, because you're having more and more Brooklynites, and that's what happens. Even in South Carolina, we're seeing Northerners come down here, and they're bringing the politics with them. And I never understood that you run away from a place and then you vote or do the exact same thing you ran away from. So why'd you leave? Why didn't you stay? Unless you're, a cancer and your goal is to spread the toxicity. But anyway, let's see. Gloria says we need ICE to get the illegals out to get any leverage back. Well, that, you see all how coordinated this group is. I mean, every judge is going against their principles and ruling against, voter ID and proof of citizenship in order to register to vote and vote in elections. Now, I don't understand how they can look themselves in the eye. The Constitution is clear. You must be a citizen to vote. Gary says, what a sad individual. How I wish I was younger, but what good for the goose is good for the gander. If socialism comes to fruition, I'll do all in my power to fuck it up. Listen, me too. And that's, today I got a call from the Republican Party and they asked me for money. And I said, well, if you pass the Save America Act, I'll give you, $1,000. I'll give you $5. But if you don't, I'm going to have to save my money because I'm going to have to use it as bribes when the socialists come to power, because that's where we're going. And that's what they understand. Let's see. Bill Smith. Hi, Billy. Will Trump pep talk get the Save America Act finally passed? I don't think so. I think that what we have there are turncoats. And, I think that what's going to get them frightened is, I think that maybe today, the reason that Trump decided to go today was because of the landslide victory of the Democrat Socialists. And I think they have to understand that they're speaking a language that the majority of voters do not understand, these old men. So either they have to get out and do what they can to protect America, or they're going to be taken out because they're eating their own. So, what makes you think they're not going to eat you? It's kind of crazy. Professor Leonard Jeffries Jr., born January 1937, is an American political scientist and former academic. He was the departmental chair of Black Studies at the City College of New York. Oh, this is Jeffries' uncle. Part of this Cooney. He was born and raised in Newark, New Jersey. He is the uncle of U.S. House Minority Leader Hakeem Jeffries and Ohio State University historian Hassan Kwame Jeffries. Really, I didn't know that he was related to. I didn't know that Jeffries, Hassan Kwame, and Hakeem were connected. So you learn something new every day. Okay, Francine is agreeing with Teresa. BJ says, I think John Thune is not a leader. We need Rick Scott. I agree with that statement. He is not a leader. Well, he might be a leader. I think what he's leading is he got paid off too. Watch Mike Johnson. Watch this little clip and listen to Mike Johnson. Listen to his voice.
I'm Matt Gelka at the Capitol, where establishment Democrats are grappling with the big Democratic Socialist wins in primaries around the country. Two sitting Democrats in Congress were primaried in New York Tuesday night, defeated by candidates backed by New York City Mayor Zohran Mamdani and the Democratic Socialist movement that propelled him to victory.
And what I see these results as a reflection of are the fact that New Yorkers are hungry for a new kind of politics. They are hungry for a politics that understands working people should be at the heart of it.
Another Mamdani-backed candidate won the primary for an open house seat in the city. The New York mayor went 3 for 3 with people he endorsed. 2 of the 3 winners are affiliated with Democratic Socialists. If they go on to win in November, they'd join Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez and Rashida Tlaib in Congress and increase DSA representation. Republicans rush to label Democrats as the party of socialism.
Hearing me say for weeks there are many Mamdanis popping up all around the country. It is a dangerous thing. This is not a joke. We're in a fight right now to save the republic. And every American needs to take this seriously. You need to wake up.
What they ought to do is look to see whether socialism worked where it's been tried. It's not like it hasn't been tried in the world. It's been tried in Western Europe. It's been tried in England. It has failed miserably.
The Democratic establishment took it on the chin in New York. House Democratic leader Hakeem Jeffries backed the incumbents that lost to Mamdani's picks. More moderate Democrats ended up winning in other primaries around the country, like Maryland and Utah, and the party's leadership in Congress tried to downplay the ripple effects.
I think the goal is to win as many seats currently held by Republicans as possible and take back control of the House of Representatives.
Is Mamdani making enemies on Capitol Hill by endorsing against incumbents right now?
Listen, the mayor and I agreed to strongly disagree about some of his endorsements, and he's got work to do in terms of the conversations that he's going to have with members of Congress moving forward.
The Democratic Socialists of America are currently questioning their chapters around the country, asking about their next political ambition. Who should they back for president in 2028? They want to make sure they have a candidate on the debate stage when the time comes. Reporting at the Capitol, I'm Matt Gelka.
That's a big jump, right? Couple of House seats and now president, and that's how fast it happens. Because they're the revolutionaries. When the Republicans had the Tea Party movement, we were the revolutionaries. Well, the MAGA has to be the revolutionaries again. We can stop this, but not the way some of these Congress members and members of the Senate think. Not by saying, oh, socialism didn't work before, because these kids think they're smarter than everybody. And perhaps they might be, right? They've got AI on their side. They're using it. They're projecting, they're using, they've got Neville Roy Singham, the guy that basically created AI. This has been a well-oiled machine and a good plan, and it's all Xi Jinping is behind it, and there's endless money to make this happen. Endless dark money. I mean, they're willing to do whatever they have to do because this is a fight to the end. These are nets that are, or not nets. These are aphids who are eating plants. And you can kill one, you can kill two, and you can kill three, but you're never going to stop them all. And that's what has always been with America. We have enemies everywhere. We have people who want us gone. Iran is just one. I mean, there's so many that want us gone, and they're unifying against us. And they have, ironically, American cheerleaders, and they're using their money to buy off our members of Congress. We have to be smarter than them. John Thune, if you are watching, Johnson, if you are watching, I have said this over and over and over again. Trump making red states safer, blue states safer, will work in his favor only if you put independent people on the ballot on the independent line. Spend your money there. Don't be spending money defending those that are already in Congress. No, you have to. If they can't defend themselves, then then it's a lost cause. We have to pick up seats. We have to defy history. And Trump can do it. But he's not going to do dick unless you pass the Save America Act. And quite frankly, neither am I. Because we've got to figure out how we're all going to live in a socialist regime. And you fuckers, have never been quick on the draw. It's always been us rank and file that have had to bring you, put your nose to the freaking ground until you smell the change in the air. The changes in the air, and it's time for you guys to see it. Okay. Oh, hi, Wanzu. Good to have you. BJ says the Democrats are clearly a party in trouble. Americans need to wake up. They're not a party in trouble. They were used as a host, and they're being eaten up. And the idiots, are trying, instead of trying to get these guys out, they're all trying to, work along with them. That's the stupidest thing ever. You got a cancer, cut it out. No, they're not going to cut it out. And I mean, look, we have cancers. One of them is John Thune. The other one was Mitch McConnell. We have tons of them. Rand Paul. We need to cut it. We need to cut him out. Trump did the absolute right thing. Paul Massey, when he got rid of Marjorie Taylor Greene, we cut them out. We did it ourselves. Hopefully they will too. Professor says Jeffries is a proponent of scientifically racist pseudoscientific melanin theory, which posits the greater skin pigmentation. Yeah, well, it's too long for me to read, but you should all read it. I mean, listen, anybody that wants to judge based on skin color, I'm over it. I'm over it. No more. I'm not playing the game. I'm just not. There's only one color in America, and that's green. And the Democrats are showing it because they cherish power over everything. Black people are getting killed every day in inner cities, but they're not. I mean, the mayor and the governor of Chicago and Pritzker and what's his face, neither one of them want Trump to send in the guard to help them out. So, really? So you prize the color of skin more than anything? Then why are you aborting so many black babies? No, it's all about the color green. It's all a game. And we have a lot of people willing to play useful idiot for the game. We have to run people on the blank line, independents. Maybe they won't caucus with us, but if we have the strength of our convictions, and if we truly represent the people, which is all people, which is what the Republicans always did, then at least we could put together a group. And maybe that group's not going to just be Republican. Maybe that group is going to be blue dog Democrat and blank. So what's wrong with that? As long as the American public gets served. And that's where I've had enough of this whole power struggle. It's enough now. Republicans must pass the Save America bill, even if it means doing away with the filibuster. I agree. I change all the rules. Why not? The rules have been changed in front of our very eyes. We're being told that men can have babies. The fuck, John Thune, and all you fucking ancient dinosaurs. Things need to change. Gary says, I don't trust the elections as it is. I've carried my Social Security card for over 60 years. I got you. BJ wants me to run for Congress. Absolutely no. I am done. I have done what I had to do. If we have a revolution, a true revolution, I will make sure that I'm there to advise. My husband and I were talking about it the other day. We're at the point in our lives where we're so old that we'll go out and we'll battle. We'll fight. We'll take the guns and we'll fight because we've lived. And we benefited from this country. And I would happily go on the front lines to make sure that our children can benefit the way we did. So both of us are ready to go. Call us up. We're there. Hopefully it will never come to that, but it could. It could. I see a future for you, Judge Judy. All right, listen, my future is I'm at 40 minutes, which is long. Oh, thank you, BJ. Could you imagine if my memory wasn't going? I might know a few things. Yeah, I mean, yeah, we're already going long, and my goal here is to hopefully, I'll put a short up later on, but hopefully to get some smart Republicans who are willing to think outside the box to start pushing back and think about fusion. That thought of Rubio and Fetterman. It's not crazy. It's not crazy. Nothing will be as crazy as men having babies and 37 sexes and children being brought litter boxes to school because they feel like they're a cat. Nothing will be as crazy as that. Thune. Somebody get Mitch McConnell the fuck out of there. All right. Thank you, BJ. I love you too. Thank you, Teresa. Thank you, Gloria. Washington should have grandma serving. Yeah, well, you know what? Run. I mean, we could all do it. Run as an independent. Run for Senate as an independent. I guarantee you, is all you need is the signatures on the ballot for New York. In some states, you just have to pay to get on the ballot. Do it. Why not? Where the hell is Santillan? Why not just get on the ballot as an independent? You know what? The Save America or the Save Democracy or the Save the Republic line. Create a line. What the hell? Why not? Run. Can't hurt. If you're on the ballot and maybe, just maybe, you get a little bit of airtime, maybe something will happen. And maybe the stupid Republicans will recognize that we need to cross the aisle, and some of these Democrats too. And the gimmick is the puppets from Uncle Floyd. Yeah. Maybe. Okay. I love you all. I'm choking myself because I'm screaming. I will see you all tomorrow. Run for office. I'm done. I did my bit. I got my ass kicked. Remember, I got called a Nazi because I had the nerve to criticize Bill de Blasio and Cuomo for their fascist move that closed down businesses during COVID. So they labeled me a Nazi forever. These same people who, tell Dan Goldman that because he's Jewish, he's not allowed in their store. That's how crazy it is. It's so crazy it is. Yeah. Drink some tea with lemon, take care of the cough. Yeah, there's more like just anger in here. All right. Love you all. See you tomorrow at 8:00. Hopefully there'll be nice news tomorrow. We'll see. Well, oil is down to $70-something a barrel. So we're in the right direction there. Okay. Bye, guys.